He's talking about me.
This meeting is called to order. It's 2 p.m., the Bradenton Community Redevelopment Agency Board Meeting for Wednesday, July 22nd, 2026 at 2 p.m. Let's all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, moving on, we'll have citizen comments. Citizen comment will be accepted during the citizen comment portion of the meeting on any non-agenda item, future agenda item, or topic of relevance to the Community Redevelopment Agency of the City of Bradenton. Comments will be accepted on the public hearings at the appropriate time. I have no cards. We have no citizen comments. So let's move on to the consent agenda. Any comments, discussion around the consent agenda items?
I actually would love to discuss the three grants, D, E, and F.
So are you moving for
I'll move
approval?
to approve and pull off D, E, and F.
Okay.
Second.
All right, so we have a motion by Vice Mayor Coker for items A, B, and C, for A, B, and C, and a second by Councilwoman Barnaby. All in favor, let's take a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Before we do that, do we want to have any discussion?
Yeah, yes, I was,
Well,
and
don't we vote on?
that we're gonna vote and then have a
And then we
discussion.
have a
on-
discussion on the three that were pulled off.
Oh, I'm sorry. I actually also just wanted, I didn't know if we wanted to have discussion about A as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want to pull it off, or?
Well, if you want to, go ahead.
Yeah.
Friendly amendment to the motion to approve items B, C.
I'll accept it.
Okay, regarding the consent agenda, any other further adjustments or comments before we move forward? Regarding items B and C, let's take a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Passes unanimously for B and C. Going in alphabetical order, let's start with item A.
Sustainable.
I just wanted to clarify, so we are amending the grants to remove, is this going to ultimately, I just want to be clear about what I'm doing when it comes to automotive uses.
Let me put it on the overhead.
Mr. Campbell?
Just in case.
So there's a question, Todd Campbell, CRA coordinator. Question is about removing the automotive parking establishment, sales rental establishment, service station, and specialty establishment, and allowing them to have access for grant funding, redevelopment grant funding for external property, external improvements to the external property. So the facade of the building, not internal upgrades.
Okay.
It stemmed from a conversation I had with Jake's Automotive, and as of now, they're not an eligible use. That building is I think it's a historic building. It's been around a while. After speaking with the owner, he was telling me all the history of it, and the reality is it's a service station. I mean, it's an auto repair shop, but it's also a building that I think is worth saving, and by allowing them to utilize CRA fundings for external improvements, it helps upgrade the beauty of the neighborhood as well. We're not going to allow them to install lifts and things like that or expand, but it would for paint, for roofs, for storm hardening. He's and this is just the example I've had with that gentleman, is he's interested in adding impact windows such as the Sign Zoo, I believe. They added some really expensive glass garage doors that are impact. They look really nice, and he's, you know, they're not cheap, but you know, he's looking to invest and, you know, beautify his property. He's also, code enforcement's on him a little bit as well, but he's taking care of those issues. But that's what spurred the conversation.
Okay, so we're, oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to make sure I understood what we were doing in the space of automotive things. I think exterior renovation is
Absolutely.
appropriate.
That's all it is. We make them provide us quotes from licensed professionals that show the type of work. We base our grant off of the work and the quote that's provided and the dollar amount as well. When it comes to parking lots, I know that's another one that we had discussed. I get it. I understand, like, to throw money in a parking lot, but you know, what we have is we have a lot of these properties that are utilized as parking lots that, you know, they look terrible. So we thought it was worth investing if they're done right. They'd have to provide, you know, an SIP. They'd have to provide conceptuals. They'd have to provide quotes as well, and it'll have to abide by city policy. So the thought behind that and the goal behind that is for, you know, people that own a parking lot, if they want to invest money in it, will beautify that parking lot, not just, you know, pave over it and not plant trees or anything like that.
Okay, that was kind of I was wondering, like, is it above and beyond just putting asphalt down?
Absolutely, yeah.
Like, is it
yeah.
landscaping, or going to block?
Professional landscaping, pretty tough. I mean, especially when it comes to a parking lot, I would absolutely, you'd provide a conceptual, you have to go through DRC, you have to abide by, you're gonna have to do a site improvement plan more than likely. You have to go through all the different city departments to, you know, get approval. And then, you know, if you want, I can make sure that every one of those is not on consent and that we show a presentation for those.
I want to be incentivizing above and beyond just
Absolutely. And that's
What-
that's our intention as
what,
well.
I mean, a good steward to their property, and I would imagine code enforcement will make them if they start getting too messy and stuff like that. I don't know, but I want to make it an incentive to make it better, not just to help.
So, in just a sentence, these uses were disallowed from grants because they're legal non-conforming uses. They are not allowed in the city anymore, in the downtown. But we also have the visual effect of blight. So that's why, when we talked about it, allowing grants for the outside of the building to make them look nicer and to take away some of the effects that may be under statutory blight, neglect of the building, things like that, that we said, okay, let's bring that to the board. And no, we're not going to support legal non-conforming use, but we are going to support the exterior of the building itself. So that's why it's being amended. And you're right. You know, we want them to take it above where it is now. So it does give other businesses an opportunity who couldn't get a grant. Now they can, but we have to be very specific in that we're not expanding or encouraging the use any more than it currently is today, because it is, according to City Council, a legal non-conforming use.
Understood.
I have a question then, going back to automotive. Is anyone here familiar with Fields Auto Body on First Street? So now that establishment would be eligible to apply for, okay.
So if he wanted to,
Only for exterior, though.
I
if
right?
he
got
wanted
that,
to
yeah.
put a new roof, if he wanted to paint, if he wanted to put new doors in, they would be eligible for that as well.
For the exterior,
All
okay.
right, so, yeah, and to clarify, Vice Mayor Coker, just exterior.
Only exterior.
Yeah, I understand that, but I was
No,
just saying.
no interior bathrooms, no waiting rooms. It's basically a facade grant for legal non-conforming properties within the city of Bradenton.
But
CRA boundaries. I
But
should say.
prior to this, that wouldn't have been eligible. for a grant.
Correct.
Okay.
Right. So we're allowing them to, make it look more appealing when you drive by.
Now, the purpose, though, is to maybe, when they're doing their things, to make it better, because we're incentivizing it a little bit, right? So like, just because somebody needs a new roof, is that really the CRA's, is that the purpose, is for us to do
Well,
An
we're not going
investor,
out and,
you know,
we're not going out and just,
maintenance? Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
That's
if
exterior.
you've got an investor that has a property,
they could take
That's-
they could take advantage of it, yes. We,
Well, I don't think she wants them to.
yeah, I mean, if somebody
I don't want
owns a
them to.
property, then they are eligible to apply for a grant.
but are you letting them just do any kind of roof they want, or are we doing something
We do
enhanced?
metal roofs,
Metal roofs.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
that's what so
Oh.
there's incentive, we're getting
To go above
something
and beyond,
more
correct.
because we're incentivizing it, okay.
And also on top of that, if they build to the insurance industry's fortified code, they're eligible for even more money. But that means that they have to put a roof on that's beyond the Florida building code. So, and the whole reason for that is to make sure that business stays viable after a hurricane.
Ms. Gonzalez Moore, did you?
I was just gonna, on the heels of Councilperson Coker, sorry, can I get my words out? Comment, where I was going with that is Jake's obviously, I think, is a good neighbor and a good steward, but not all of them are.
I agree.
And so I just feel like automotive is like a little,
Yeah.
I just am sensitive
It-
to
it-
where we want to put that, where we want to encourage that. So I just wanted, I mean, I don't,
So
is there an element of, do they have
these
to be a good neighbor?
definitions are in the code of ordinance from the city of Bradenton. So we're following Bradenton's ordinances. So they lump, Jake's Automotive in with a gas station.
Sure.
I mean, honestly, that was,
And another thing that's been concerning me, and I know that staff already knows this, but I don't know if you all, obviously I can't talk to you guys about it, but, are just this notion, like you said, like investors that are holding properties that could be very beneficial, that could be being turned over to a better, more, desirable use. And I don't know that I want to help someone who's, we've had a little bit, I think, in recent history of dealing with property owners that aren't local, don't care, just milking
so that's,
whatever they can milk.
it's a catch-22 because it's,
Well, also a couple things you gotta think of, it is improving the building, so that's part of it. The other thing too is that, like Todd said, if you prefer that type of use to come back to the board and need to have board approval, then we can do that as well. So you can see exactly,
I fully intend to bring these unique situations in front of you, not on consent, but, present.
Well, the building I was speaking of, it's pretty historic as well in my community. It's been around since, I think it was established in the 60s.
Yeah.
Because when my dad tore up his old Mustang.
That's where it went.
The Mustang was fixed.
I guess, and so I guess we're comfortable with them, with staff having to come to us
With that
just on the
explanation. yeah.
nuanced ones, yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Be happy to.
Just so you know, as long as we don't have a paint color policy for buildings, these particular buildings that are already non-conforming, I would rather them come back to the board, because there may be some, until, in the past at other CRAs, we have put in place, these are the colors you can use, and we give them a broad swath of colors that have been approved by the board. Until we do that, Yeah, you don't want me picking colors.
So in the conversation I had with Jakes, it was, I'd let them know they would have to show the color of the building, and we don't want purple building, even though some people might like purple. I don't know, maybe you do, but, you know, we,
Even on the Van Wezel.
well, I've never been there, but I'm sure it's great.
Fire hazard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I have one other question too, as far as, and if the property, I mean, if it's not a dilapidated, a blighted property, are we still, I mean, are we still giving grants to things that aren't blighted?
It depends. It depends on,
Just because somebody wants a metal roof instead of a shingle roof?
well, again, it depends. A metal roof, obviously, statistically will do better in a high wind event than a shingle roof. And part of our plan states that that type of resiliency is allowable. So we would be following our plan by allowing that to happen. It also would increase the value of the building. They wanted to resell. That type of roof has a much longer lifespan than an asphalt shingle roof.
You'll have to sell me on that.
So, you know, there's so many different ways. Again, on not legal non-conforming uses, do not have a problem with bringing them all before the board. That way, until we come up with some tighter policies for these types of uses, then the board can, you know, we'll bring them to you. We will listen to how you know, adjudicate them. And then we will form policies based on that and bring that back to you. That way, we hopefully will get it to a point to where it makes it streamlined and it isn't ambiguous. It's more specific. So, like it being specific.
Further comment or discussion around item 4A?
If the board is agreeable, do we have to amend the motion do we have to amend this to say that legal
come back to us for
non-conforming will
approval?
come before the council, or board?
I think at this time, we can just, I don't know how many we're gonna have, but the next time we amend the policy, we'll have that in there. But Todd knows to bring them before the board.
Betcha. I wouldn't dare not.
Yeah, I think that's a decision for the board, if you're comfortable approving it as is, or it could be approved with that change, if the board wanted to add that.
I think I think it makes sense to add it now.
Yeah, if we can, yeah.
So.
That's fine.
So
Want me to make a stab? Let's see.
He's doing it.
Move to approve the proposed adjustments to the CRA Sustainable Redevelopment Grant Program, amending it to require board approval
For just
or
the long.
non-conforming. use
Non-conforming,
for
Of legal
non-conforming use
non-conforming.
grants.
grants. There you go.
Perfect.
Does that work?
Second.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion by Vice Mayor Coker and a second by Ms. Moore. Let's take it to a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No, I didn't hear that. Motion passes unanimously for item 4A.
I'll stay up here for the other
Okay.
three as
Yeah.
well.
Do we need to do 4D?
Well, they
E
can
and
all
F.
three, I mean, obviously, I'm in favor of any improvements to any of the properties and everything. But I just didn't know from the CRA's perspective, is there, what is customary as far as, I mean, giving multiple grants to the same person? I mean, I'm feeling the tension that, you know, come what may in the elections, will the pieces of the pie be changing, and we need to make sure that we have it, you know, fair.
So
How is that treated in any way in other CRAs as far as
No, the grants are based off of parcel IDs. And so each parcel is eligible for a grant unless it's a legal non-conforming use. But we just addressed that. So if one person owns multiple parcels, they can apply for one grant per property. But at the same time, if you own just a single piece of property in the same neighborhood or in the same CRA area, you can apply for a grant just like anybody else can. And we always keep sufficient funds available so that to this point, we have never hit the bottom of the barrel of our account. So everybody has access to the funding. And somebody
Are
that,
these self-funding as well?
the grants?
Yes.
No, the grants are not. I mean,
To a degree.
there is a residual, I mean, if you pull a building permit, that permit then goes to the property appraiser, and an adjustment is supposed to be made based on that permit. You know, it's up to the property appraiser. Grants are more business retention and business expansion type for existing buildings. And at the same time, there are ancillary benefits like resiliency to hurricanes by putting a metal roof on the building or impact windows. If we did have a grant, and historic preservation, obviously, if we did have somebody that wanted commercially that wanted to go the full amount, for instance, the professional building downtown, that's a lot of money being put into that building. It will have an effect on the tax roll, but not the same way incentives do. Incentives are supercharged. They are like, you know, they're aimed at creating and that investment and taking advantage of that on our side. Grants are more about having existing building owners and homeowners have the ability to invest and help them. In certain areas like Central, we have learned that a 50-50 match might not help as much because people might have a harder time getting their 50%. So we actually partner with CDBG, and we're getting roofs put on houses now that need them. So it has an effect on the tax roll. Not as big as an incentive, but there are also reasons why we give grants. I mean, for instance, a public art grant, not gonna have a big hit on the tax roll, but, you know, just having it there as an investment in the community, there's so many different ways it benefits. Grants are not, they're not the big money maker here, but they do help businesses and homeowners stay in place.
Understood. Did you, Ms. Coker, did you want to discuss?
I want to I'll make a motion to approve, can I do them all together? D, E, and F, that's what I would have been on consent.
Second.
To approve, okay, thank you.
So we have a motion for 4D, E, and F, and
And
this.
the only thing I want to discuss, though, is at some point, I think we do need to talk about the same, because we can talk about it later. But I want to go ahead and pass these. Okay.
All right. Let's take a vote. All in favor of items 4D, E, and F, say aye.
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 Okay, motion passes unanimously. Moving along on the agenda. Regarding all CRA districts, item number 5A.
Mr.
Go ahead.
Mr. Chair. So, welcome to budget season. So, as you know, we have an interdepartmental application that we send out to all the departments. And if they're looking for money, or funding, they come and they have to fill out the application, give us their budget, all that kind of stuff. They also have to come and face you guys for their funding. They'll tell you a lot of good things that they do. So the first up is the Bradenton PD. As I talked to most of you, I don't think I was able to talk to Councilwoman Barnaby, but we had a discrepancy on the calculation. for the funding request. It's increased a little bit of like about $2,400, but it was just a oversight on the original budget that was posted in your agenda. So I gave everybody the updated application. And with further ado, Lieutenant Borden, it's all yours.
Well, thank you for having us this morning. I'm Lieutenant Borden, Patrol Services, Bradenton Police Department, and this is my homeless outreach team, Officer Poulos and Tamika. So we'll go over our budget overview for this year. Like he said, he already went over the budget, and I think he provided each of you with paper copies, or at least you can see our screen. So BPD and CRA partnership. BPD meets several areas of the CRA Sustainability Redevelopment Plan. This includes innovations in community policing, improving blighted areas, implementing CEPTED practices, and working with the public and private entities to revitalize all CRA areas. So some of the highlights for 2026, we conducted several large-scale operations focused on addressing issues in the CRAs, including panhandling, assisting public works with cleanups, etc. We assisted with after midnight permits. We conducted 3 CEPTED surveys for grants, as well as over 50 CEPTED principal recommendations for the DRC. We increased the BTP, which is the business trespass program participation in the CRAs. That really helps us where we're not trying to hunt down owners of the businesses to be able to trespass. We can trespass without them. Assisted and conducted numerous high-profile investigations in the CRAs. So one of the big cases that we dealt with was earlier this year. We were having several overdose cases, especially around One Stop and the Salvation Army. Well, our CRA officers were gathering intel, and we figured out who the suspect was and what vehicle it was. So we passed that on to the narcotics officers, and they were able to make the arrest. The overdoses have dropped tremendously. We haven't really had any since then. So that was one of our biggest success stories in the CRA this year. We assisted 14 people with hot funds and relocation of housing based on these 2 fine people here. One of the biggest success stories that we've had several, like I said, 14 of them, but the one that touched us the most was Miss Bradley, who was an elderly woman who requires full-time care and lives with her caregiver, Mr. Jones. Due to her medical condition, her disability income does not cover all of her living expenses. They were given short notice by their landlord to vacate their residence after it was deemed uninhabitable. Despite combining their incomes, Ms. Bradley and Mr. Jones were unable to secure new housing because they could not afford the upfront move-in costs. Given Ms. Bradley's significant health concerns, homelessness would have placed her at serious risk. So CRA officers and Tamika, through our homeless outreach program, worked together to provide financial assistance for the remaining move-in costs. As a result, Ms. Bradley and Mr. Jones were able to move into their new apartment, ensuring they had safe and stable place to live. And then they sent us a picture of themselves in their new home. Very happy and thankful. They sent us a nice thank you letter, appreciating all our help that we've done for them this year. We could go on. All the stories are very touching. Tamika goes out with Officer Poolhouse every week. They ride together and they go find the families that need help. So in 2027, obviously you all are aware we've been losing some people, especially Councilwoman Coachman. We're losing to other agencies. So with that being said, we've lost a few of our CEPTED certified officers this year. So this year we have 2 officers that are going to be getting certified in the upcoming months so that we can backfill those officers that we've already lost. We're going to expand community engagement opportunities through outreach events and community meetings in the CRA. Expand crime reduction operations, expand crime prevention in the CEPTED surveys in the CRAs, and increase our homeless outreach efforts. So like Chris was talking earlier about the budget, we've provided this, it's on here as well, but you guys should have the paper copies or at least digital up front, unless you need me to go over any of these. Any questions from the board?
I just wanted to start out by saying that, you know, Lieutenant, I know you said that you could go on about the successes, stories. I just really wanted to thank you that, I think that having this in place is just so important from a quality of life issue for all of our citizens. This policing success proves itself in the stories that we hear every day, so I'm very thankful for it.
Thank you.
And I'll have to add to that. I have the opportunity and the pleasure to see you at work, see a lot of our CRA community policing at work, as well as CRT. But I have a question, a little bit of questions about what you put before us. The budget is what it is, but is that everything? Are there any operational things that you incur other than, like cars, maintenance? Is that under the city's budget, or is it?
Well,
under
we have, the CRA has funded cars. The past, I think 2 years ago, we got 3 new cars, and before that, we had purchased new cars for them. So that was the CRA funding those. I think the police department themselves, pay for maintain
them?
right.
Okay, so that's not a cost that CRA has to
Right,
just
that's not
purchase
within the
it.
budget, yeah.
Mhm.
They come when they, that's, when they're looking for that type of product. Like, I think previous to me getting here, I think they had got 4-wheelers too, some quads and things like that. So they do, when those things come up, they can, reach out to us, and then they have. It's not a secret. And then we allow that to be within their funding. If they want to present that to you, they can come and present that in that interdepartmental application as well. So if like this next year, if they needed a new car, then they would, speak with us, and then we say, okay, well, on the next budget, for the next year, we can look at putting those in there as part of that budget,
Okay, so
that funding.
it's not necessarily a line item for that.
Right.
On this, okay.
Yeah, so this year we didn't need any, so we didn't budget for any for this year.
Okay.
So like he was saying, within, next year or two, we might need a few more
Right,
cars, but we
right,
will
okay.
plan that
I
accordingly.
just thought maybe even maintaining them, but if BPD does it on that, so the city does it on that side, okay, no problem.
And then-
I'm gonna ask a question too about, where are you guys located? I know the office was kinda, I didn't.
So right now, our office is in the back parking lot, so
Okay.
it's located in the parking garage.
Right.
And then we have substations throughout the area. We have a substation in Oakmead. We have a substation there, which is in the CRA. They provide us an office to use the restroom. We also have a substation at Just Jewelers. And then we have another substation just outside of the CRA over off 17th Avenue, the old Girl Scout house. So we have a couple different throughout the city. It's nice, especially on the east side, where we have restrooms for the officers to use instead of having to try to drive back here. It's not very convenient for a female officer to take everything off in a racetrack gas station to use the restroom. So,
I get that. So,
yeah, yes, ma'am. So I've been told.
so operational,
All sensitive.
so operational costs, that also comes out of, that's not on us?
It's not part of their budget, so.
It's- Okay, okay.
But we have worked with the BPD on the city grants to replace some cameras and things like that as well. So there's always that opportunity, for them to come and see us about certain, items.
Okay, so,
Fencing as well, like on MLK Park, or cameras along those lines.
so that money comes out of where? I mean,
For the city grant or for,
when they come to us and don't, first of all, don't think I don't think you're doing a great job, because you're doing a fabulous job, okay? That's not it. I'm just, money right now is on my mind. And also I want to know how things are being covered, because I didn't necessarily realize all the substations. Those aren't just CRA.
Correct.
Okay.
Any officer can use any of those.
Right, okay. That's what I was thinking, but I was trying to make sure I understood where CRA's office, because I feel like that's our responsibility.
Yeah, it's just right across the street. in the back
Okay,
park.
okay. So
Yes, ma'am.
CRA did not move to Just Jewelers?
No, ma'am.
Okay. That helps too. I'm good. This is,
Ward 5 is alive.
Any other,
and that's why I see them a lot. And I am just ecstatic. I would not do anything to take pennies from you. Absolutely not. I just want to know how, make sure you are funded
Absolutely. Thank
the
you.
way you should be. That was really it.
thank you. Mr. Munion, do you want to just touch on for a second, because how the ratios work? You said there's a $2,500 adjustment, which is de minimis on the overall.
Yes,
but
so,
because the
so
numbers have
basically
changed.
how we fund the officers at a 95% of what the salary is, because we want to have, the city or the PD, handling that other 5% allows for those officers, if they need to cross the lines out of the CRA, to be able to do that in case of an emergency or things like that. So that's why we fund 95%. The discrepancy was that we actually pay 50% of the caseworker, and it's through Manatee County. There's an agreement with Manatee County, with the city, and so the CRA pays that 50%. So what had happened is that 50% was included in that 95% and not at the 100%. So that was the discrepancy, and it was about $2,500 difference. So that's why it was changed.
Understood. Thank you. Any further discussion, questions? Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the interdepartmental funding application from Code and, wait a minute, do I have the right one?
No, we're in
No.
BPD.
Above.
Got ahead of myself.
Yep.
Oh,
I may.
sorry. Anybody else has it? Go
Move to
ahead.
get us
approve funding
ahead.
request from the Bradenton Police Department for community policing for the fiscal year 2026-2027 in the amount up to $928,618.80.
With a slight correction to the 9/31/385.06.
Thank you.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion by Ms. Barnaby with a second by Ms. Coachman. All in favor, say aye.
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 Just to redeem
Passes
myself.
unanimously.
That is what that said.
It does?
Highlighted was just a
I'm-
change right before.
No, I'm talking about code enforcement.
Just as a note to the
Application
police
from code
department,
enforcement.
uh,
I'm
the,
just reading.
the police department, they have really stepped up their, that's next, stepped up their, not community policing, but, CPTED, provisions. They've got people trained. We've paid for that. That is a part of the incentives that we work, and it's also part of the grants. And it may not have a monetary benefit the day that they help us determine how to best give a grant to a property owner to reduce crime. But over the long haul, over the day-to-day, having cameras and lighting and all the other things that CPTED helps with and encourages is a benefit, because hopefully in the long run, it reduces the need for have police officers out in the field because crime is being committed, where we're now investing in the actual architecture of the city to reduce crime. So,
Priceless.
yeah, it's, I've seen studies on it, and it's amazing what, a city that really thinks forward like that, what it can produce. So, good partnership.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You.
Next, we have code enforcement.
Yes.
And I just got to say, whoever hired Volker Reese is one of the smartest guys ever.
Good afternoon. My name is Volker Reis. I'm the compliance manager for the city of Bradenton. Before I start, we work very closely with the CRA, with Jordan and Tamika. It really works for us. We work really, really close with them, and they see us once a week, and we see them once a week. So it works for us. Which one is mine?
The second one down,
This
underneath,
one.
there you go.
I don't want to have fancy pictures. I don't want to, hang on. No. Yes, I do. Oh, there you go. I should know this because we do it at the special magistrate, but I guess I don't. Just for sake of the audience, our activities in code enforcement, we do proactive strategic neighborhood inspections in all 3 CRAs. We identify dilapidated structures. We contact residents and refer them to assistant that's available. And starting in fiscal 2027, we want to start a program, I don't like that term, but assisting homeowners with cosmetic property maintenance and removal of dangerous trees, because we have found that there's a little bit of a gap in the way we make help available to people who need help. And I'll get to that in a second. I think I have 45 minutes, is that correct? Our funding request is $35,000 for the Central CRA, $35,000 for the Tamiami Trail 14th Street CRA, and $20,000 for the Bradenton CRA. We will use them for our code enforcement officers and for costs associated with the proposed pilot program, which I will get to in a second. We have identified there is sometimes issues at residential properties where the grant program takes too long and is too cumbersome. For example, trees. We have people who have dead trees in their yard, and we ask them to please remove the dead trees because they are a public safety issue. Everything has gotten so expensive. If you want to remove a dead tree now, it's going to cost you thousands of dollars. At least it'll cost you about $2,000 just a regular tree. And we have people in the residences in the CRA who simply do not have that money. They can't afford it. And we wanted to jump in and see if there's something that we, from a code enforcement standpoint with money, can do to help people like that. We also have situations where we have people who have junk outside, or items outside, and that we want them to remove. And if we send our sanitation people out, it's gonna cost the city money to do that. So we are trying with situations like that, if we can get the junk removals services to have some junk removed for maybe $500-600, if people would agree to that, not in the CRA, but situations where I'm talking about. We had a situation in the Village of the Arts a couple of years ago, I want to say, where we had 9 trucks that, so that may be too much, but we have smaller situations where people just need help. We have people who might need help with their vegetation a little bit. And I'm not talking about able-bodied 25-year-old football players. I'm talking about some of our residents who are elderly or infirm, and we have them. And they may not have a physical disability, they may have a mental disability too, and between Jordan Poulos and myself and our code enforcement officers, sometimes we are successful to get these people to agree to get rid of items, for example. And we don't want to tell them, look, you need to find somebody who does that for you. We want to help them with that. And we'll see how it works. I can't tell you that it's going to be a successful program. I think it will be. And I will report back to you a year from now, or Jeff, if it's something that we want to keep doing or something that didn't work. But I think it's a good thing to do right now. And I already had one today, a lady coming in, and she needs help with a tree. And she might be able to do it herself, but I had to think of the meeting this afternoon when she came in this morning. So I'm asking you to approve our modest request. And I'm, of course, open to any questions.
Questions, comments? Seems fairly
Councilwoman
straightforward to
Coach.
me.
It is, yeah.
I like the initiative.
You know, you have we spoke about
Yes,
one
we
of them.
do.
I don't think they're in the CRA, but they wouldn't agree, but they would be a great,
Yes.
would be a great example where we could help, because they really don't need thousands of dollars. They need
Well, it's
to clean up.
Yeah, and it's one of the things when you talk about trees, and I hate to mention it, but when we can help others, and I don't hate to mention this, but when we can help others where we can, because without that, you know, a tree, for example, and I've seen it happen, and they push it in the street, and it's, you know, Mr. Mora's problem. So, you know, I think this is a great initiative and a good start as an experiment.
But the problem won't go away. I mean, we're going to be stuck at the end with it anyway. Somebody's going to have to pay for it, and
Yes.
that's usually the taxpayer.
Understood. Well, thank you very much, Volker. Yes.
Mr. Rice? Is this just for residential properties?
I believe so. I don't see a need at this point for commercial properties. I can't see it. I'm not saying 100% never, ever, ever. Never say never, but I don't plan to use it on commercial properties. I think there's other help available for them. We want to focus on our residents who need help.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Ms. Coachman.
Ready to make the motion?
Absolutely. Do we have a motion?
Move to approve the interdepartmental funding application for code enforcement in the amount not to exceed $90,000 for the fiscal year 2026, 2027.
Second.
All right. We have a motion by Ms. Coachman and a tie for second. It sounded like Ms. Barnaby came in first. So let's take a vote. All in favor of, say aye. Aye. None opposed. Passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Item 6A, Community Redevelopment Agency, Public Works Downtown Maintenance Initiative.
Mr. Chair, so we did get an interdepartmental application from the downtown maintenance team, and they're here to present to you.
We don't bite.
Well, Mary Ann does, but.
Yeah, I call my shots.
Good afternoon, Mr. President and Board. My name is James Mota. I'm the Division Manager for the City of Bradenton Solid Waste, and I also manage the DAT team. So for those that don't know what the DAT team does, we have the Main Street corridor. We go from Baccarada and Martin Luther from 15th Street to the Green Bridge. And we do everything from getting on our hands and knees and scraping off gum off sidewalks to planting flowers and power washing the sidewalks after a rough night on a Saturday. And they don't look too good, but we get them clean. It's clean before you guys even wake up. So with that said, which one is mine?
You're the third one down there. There you go.
Not gonna see any palm trees, am I?
Oaks only.
Okay, so this next slide is kind of scary, but I have to show it. Let me introduce my dad team to you. Gil Pena is my lead. He's been with us for three years or so. And we got Daniel Can in here. He's been with us for a couple of years. And the new victim is Brian Davis. So he's new. You'll see his father up on Main Street. Your mom and dad selling flowers and stuff on the Main Street for the Bradenton market and stuff like that. So we brought him on over. Skylar left us. He was the one that always wore the Crocodile Dundee hat out there. Yeah, he left us last week, and we're going to miss him. So we're operating on 3 workers right now, but we're handling it. We are handling it. So I started this 4 years ago, and it was just 1 worker and myself. And you guys brought this to our attention, and this is the way it looks now. So we have made progress in those 4 years. As you could see, we're thinking outside the box. This stuff sits right in front of the coffee shop, the pottery, and we tried to kind of match it the best we can to the color, approved colors for the city of Bradenton. So we have some at the coffee shop, and this sits right on the side of that Art Deco as you're walking by, and more are gonna pop up. So if you have any suggestions, shoot me an email, and we will get it done. So this piece of property right here, this is AI generated. This sits right in front of Oak Bricks. Sits right in front of Oak Bricks, and you notice there's no flowers, just mulch. Because of the root system from this tree, we can't put any flowers unless we cut the roots from the tree, which we don't want to do, which could kill it, or it could weaken it and it'll fall over during a storm. So we're thinking of placing a tiered waterfall like this with plants, which we already have water, and it'll be a misting system, and it'll be self-watering, and it waters at night. And
I like that.
they said, hey, they're gonna ask you about what if a car jumps the curb a little bit and knocks it over. We're gonna put these big stones around it, and that should protect it. So that sits right in the Oak Bricks area. That's what we have plan on doing FY27. And I think you guys are gonna like this. It's a butterfly garden. So this butterfly garden will sit across the street from the coffee shop, off to the side, because we don't want a butterfly garden on Main Street and get these little kids going after them, trying to knock down the butterflies and stuff like that. But if we could put it off of Main Street, but that they could see it, and then we will put a sign on there, butterfly garden, come and look at it, take your pictures. So that's something we're thinking outside the box to do.
And you've got a puddler there for the butterflies. That's what that little, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Perfect.
Absolutely. And we talked about this before, and Coker knows about it. It's the salt coming off of Manatee River, and we tried to put these hanging plants up, and they kept dying, and they kept dying, and kept dying. So Gil reached out to the experts, and they said probably what's happened is you have such small area for the plants to grow that they can't even establish, and then the salt gets them and kills them. So we are thinking about putting something like this. These are huge, really huge, and this T that holds them it's as high as the street lights on Main Street. So we're thinking about, but suggestions from y'all, maybe right in front of that coffee shop, right on Main Street. So there's that white chair that kind of wiggles around like that on the other side. So it'll be a nice tee with these huge, huge baskets, and then the soil is deep. So it'll allow the plants to start to grow. We're hoping that'll work. And we want to just try one, and if it takes off, then we'll put them wherever you all want them. So we think that's gonna solve the problem. I hope, cross fingers. So the downtown maintenance team, that strives for excellence. 5 years ago, our operation began with just 1 employee, myself. Today, we have transformed the downtown corridor into a beautiful, vibrant destination filled with stunning floral displays, a clean environment, and a safe atmosphere for our families. Our work consistently attracts visitors from across the state and the country. Team members frequently share that the mayor, city council members, and the public have stopped to praise their hard work. and we sincerely thank each and every one of you for your continued support. I just love this picture. I took this when I first started, but this, I know that there is gonna be a project with lights on the trees. I hope I'm not hitting a.
Oh, absolutely not. We
I hope
are,
I'm
we
not-
are,
I hope the lights
we
are
are
okay.
guns a-blazing on this light.
Let's just go to the next slide.
Yes. Just go back. What you see in that light is a fraction of the beauty you'll see when the light project is done.
And we were asked, that team was asked to be the eyes and the ears for when they do get put in those trees, so we will report if the lights are out, if they're not working, if they're not doing this and they're not doing that, and we'll just report back. So that team will be the eyes and ears for that. And these are actual flowers from.
Y'all have my phone number, right?
Yes, ma'am, sure do.
I do have a question regarding downtown core. Any suggestions as to expanding the program and downtown core, meaning, just for edification purposes, where that area is exactly, and are there any plans to perhaps expand it as we continue to connect the city and the CRAs?
That's a good question, and I think that that's something we could probably talk about, and probably even talk to Professor Green about when he finishes his study of the downtown and the Main Street program. This dovetails into it perfectly.
I know that we want this to be a success, and Mr. Moore and his team is already proving that, so we want to get one thing right before we start to grow. But
I would tell you this, that coming to Bradenton, between the police and code enforcement and the downtown team, I worry so much about handing money to any government agency and then something happening and then no maintenance.
yeah.
Between the reports we get from the PD on crime and, what Volker gives us monthly on code enforcement, and when we talked about the grants, Volker, you need to make sure you identify the code violation, because code violations are synonymous with blight, which helps us a lot, helps the board make happy decisions, very, very healthy decisions about funding these things. You can't do enough with this guy. He's coming up with ideas, but apparently, more flowers, and by the way, more flowers. And so.
Don't forget the lights.
And all I can tell you is that they stay maintained.
Yes.
And that goes a long way for us. So, again, coming to Bradenton has been a pleasure when it comes to funding. The only thing we really did was create this interdepartmental application process, because we needed a paper trail between the board and then these departments. That's been taken care of. The city grants, which Chris brought up, that helps us, when something needs to be done immediately, that we can work with them with, we can move quicker. So that's been done. I would tell you that, you can start talking about, not even downtown, but in the other CRAs, the only thing you have to do is you have to somehow clone him.
Well, for me, that was just mainly out of curiosity and to see the discussion, because obviously, as we all have been referring to, we want this to be a success and we want to get it right in one area.
As long as the board has the plan and the statute to fall back on, and probably the Constitution sooner or later, a state constitution, then what we need to do is we need to make sure that all the paperwork, that everything that they're doing is documented, so that in case we are asked, why, we can present that and have a case. So far, I feel very comfortable with all of the departments that have come in, and we feel like if what they've been doing for the past couple of years, if you want to expand that, then we need to sit them down and talk about how we make that happen. So we just need to make sure that we continue to do it the way we've been doing it. And maybe even, I'm always telling my staff, improve on it. I'm sure Chris has got he probably already has an application they can fill out online and the whole 9 yards, so. Do you?
No.
Okay, well, he can do that. So, but we can talk about that.
Understood. Ms. Barnaby?
Mr. Mora,
Ma'am?
there hasn't been a time that I have called you and you didn't take care of the problem. You've never let me down, nor has your team.
Never happened. Promise.
There's other people in the city that can't say that. But you all have, I mean, seriously, every time I've called about an issue, my personal favorite was the mattress in the trees.
Yep, took the challenge, we got it.
But you've never let this board down.
Got a
So
good team.
gentlemen, thank you very, very much.
You're welcome.
And Mr. Chairman, I'd be happy to make the motion to approve the interdepartmental funding application for the Public Works Downtown Maintenance Initiative for this upcoming fiscal year in the amount of, and let me hopefully I won't transpose these numbers or screw these numbers up, $451,235.68. Am I right?
Second.
You are correct. We have a motion by Councilwoman Barnaby and a second by Vice Mayor Coker for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
None opposed. Passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Okay, moving on. Item 6B, Community Redevelopment Agency Historic Preservation Grant Request for a property located at 530 13th Street West.
Good afternoon, Todd Campbell, CRA Coordinator. Wanted to present a historical redevelopment grant application that the CRA staff received over the last few weeks from Gem Collective 530 LLC. Property is located what is referred to as 530 13th Street West. However, I believe there's 4 different addresses at the property, so you might see different addresses, but the main address is 530 13th Street West. The applicant is estimating a total investment into the property of over $6.5 million. Proposed scope of work will include pretty much every single surface of the building. Plumbing, electric, paint, anything you see in there will be touched. So the proposed, like I said, the end result is to turn the building into a community gathering space called Gather 242. And according to the application, once complete, the building will be repurposed into a community gathering space and food hall with 7 vendors, a craft cocktail bar, and event space. The applicant is requesting grant funding in the amount of up to $600,000, subject to CRA standard annual funding cycles and compliance with all CRA program requirements and reimbursement obligations. We're bringing this in front of you. Typically, our grants are pretty straightforward. This one's a little outside of policy, so what the applicant is asking for is approval for up to $600,000 to be reimbursed on an annual basis at $150,000 a year. So it'd be $150,000 a year for 4 years, then they'd be fully reimbursed. That's a little outside of our policy, but it also allows us to help support some of these larger projects that we have that the incentive might not be an option for them. I do have the applicant in the audience. I'd like for her to come up, her and her team to come up if they'd like to, she'd like to go over a brief presentation as well as answer any questions for you.
Excellent.
Thank you, Todd.
Absolutely.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
This is the team. I know I had the opportunity to come out a couple weeks ago and just share a little bit with you guys just about our intention with the building specifically, primarily because of the history of the building and its significance to Bradenton. Today, we brought everyone. We
Yeah.
thought it would be helpful.
And so, Ms. Hagan, in that regard, because some of us know some, but not all, so why don't you go ahead and introduce quickly everyone?
Go ahead.
Jeff, this is Gem Collective. Jeff, Elizabeth, Melissa. That's how we came up with Gem. Mimi's my wife. She goes by Mimi. And we're excited to get things started. We've got bids out there, and we love Bradenton. We live here. We want to help beautify it.
Excellent.
This is Brian.
Welcome.
Hey, just wanted
Yeah.
to
Sorry.
curtail that. No, that's okay, Jeff. Thank you. I think to Jeff's point, I think something that's important to know, you brought this up earlier, Councilwoman Coker. We live here. We are sourcing funding and doing this project with folks who live here. Our children live here. One of the big reasons we wanted to do this project at all is we want them to stay here when they graduate or come back here after college. And so we believe this is something that allows us to not just do something really amazing for us on a Tuesday night when we're looking for something to do or place to go or a place to bring our friends and gather with one another, no pun intended or every pun intended, but also just for them too. It's hopefully going to take what you guys now know of as a historic building and really bring it to relevance and excitement again in the future as well. So I'll start there. Thank you guys. I'm happy to go over these slides with you. There are quite a few in here, but first and foremost, we started with just like that classic look of the friendly city. I will skip through this one. This one just tells you a little bit about Brian and I, but really what we want you to know is that our mission is really to fuel Bradenton in food and in spirit. And so our vision is that when you think to yourself, I need to get with someone and maybe grab a cup of coffee or have a bite, that we be that table in the community that you come and do this at. To Todd's point earlier, 7 chefs. So our goal is to identify 7 kitchen vendor partners, which are 7 independent businesses that will move into the downtown CRA inside Gather and be independent operators within the building, in addition to us as Gather 242 as the operator as well. So there will be a total of about 8 actual employers who will join into this project to create jobs and opportunities. There will be some fun things. We will have a self-serve pour wall. There is a rooftop garden that I'll show you guys a picture of in just a second. Definitely live music and events, and this one's a big one for us. When we think live music, we think like karaoke. Again, the kind of things that you want to do with your friends and get together with. That's going to be part of just how we bring folks downtown. That's one of our hearts, is to be like, let's just go hang out there. And then very family friendly. Something else that's important to us is we appreciate and love so much of the action in downtown Bradenton, but sometimes family friendly after 6 o'clock gets challenging. And so our event and our space will be fully family friendly. We will close at 9 o'clock during the week, at 10 o'clock or 11 at the latest on Saturdays. So we're not trying to be part of the 2 a.m. crowd. We're really trying to be whole, a place for whole family and whole city events. Lots of private events, but this is what the building will look like. You probably recognize the look of the building because the building looks a lot like this right now. But some of the elements that you'll see that we will touch and I would say maybe enhance or revitalize. We keep the awning. We thought the awning was just so classic for that street. I'm not going to lie to you guys, that was a discussion for a while because the awning is not in good shape, but they were able to figure out how to redo it, but then make it really cool and really pretty. It will be kind of like a photo op spot when you walk in. And then if you look to the left of that, you'll see where we're adding kind of this black awning across. And that really is just to mirror what else is on 13th. 13th has really started to develop a look. And so we wanted to join in that look and just also, it's a throwback to the early 20s, to the 20s. And this building is from 1922 originally, so. This is the other side. You'll see, I'm going to fly through these because if not, we'll be here for 30 minutes, especially because if I get excited about this project, I just can't stop. But there will be a walk-up window as well on this side. We're turning one of those doors and entrances to an actual walk-up window so that if you are coming to a meeting and you park over there and you want a coffee, you can get on your way in. At the window. You don't have to go all the way through. But this is the floor plan. And really what you see here is what we wanted to point out is here's the 7 vendors along the first floor, along with a couple of private dining spaces, one downstairs and then one upstairs. Those are intended to be if you want a small business owner or a city department wants to have a meeting, they're welcome to reserve the room and they can do that there as well. And then out here, what you see out here is a rooftop garden. And I'm going to show you guys a picture of the rooftop garden. Some of the things to know is we are doing our very best to preserve the pieces of this building. This building's been empty for 15 years. It was purchased by a developer who has an interest in the area, but just sat on it for a while, hoping to kind of maybe flip it or something. I don't know, but it sat for about 15 years, just empty. And so it has been in okay condition considering, but there are some amazing pieces inside of it that we believe, and our architects and our construction team believe that they can preserve, including the tin ceiling. That's what you see in this picture here, is that tin ceiling is probably older than all of us in this room, and they do intend to retain and rehab that. Along with really a lot of the space that is able to be retained is upstairs. And so you'll see that in just a second. This is just some of the pictures of downstairs. Mixed use tables, meaning groups of 2, groups of 4. Some of these soccer teams that come down to IMG and need a place to eat during a sports conference can join us there as well. So just trying to give different options to folks. Downstairs, we're really trying to honor what is the Suncoast, right? Coastal vibes. And then you'll see as we move upstairs, it gets a little darker, a little moodier. The pictures are a little darker than it will be, but the reason what you're seeing here is the building, I am amazed at the way that the floors and the beams that are natural and original to the building from the 1922 construction are still there and relatively intact. So we are preserving those floors. I think we've been told multiple times they are Dade City pine floors, which is a really cool thing. The beams are really, really big, thick railroad tie style.
I'm sorry, did they say like Heart of Pine? Did they say Dade City Heart of Pine?
I believe so. We've had a couple people in there and they're like, I think this is Dade City pine. You could sell this. And we were like, but
Yeah,
let's just keep it.
It's, you can't get it anymore and it's virtually indestructible.
Yeah, they've said
Seems to
that.
be holding up really well.
Yeah. They've said with the exception of a couple places, they believe they may have to replace a few, but when we create the bar, we'll do tile behind the bar for the sake of maintenance, and then we'll use those places to replace where we
That
change it.
upstairs is really cool. Have any of you have been there? No.
It's beautiful.
It's neat.
We'd be happy to take you with hard hats. But the upstairs will be a little more speakeasy, a little bit more, I call it the grown-up vibe upstairs a little bit, because we also want to be mindful of how people gather within the building. And then just a little bit more library kind of nice feel. And the walls are really cool. The walls are an old school Spanish style stucco. What is it? Stucco brick? Plaster brick. And they're like brushed and they're really pretty, and those are really solid as well. So they'll be preserving a lot of those as well, which is really neat. So you got to come in to see some of the history, which is exciting for us because we want that, right? And then I will move over to outdoor because I want to address something I heard earlier from Councilwoman Coker. So part of the reason we decided to submit for a grant, we've been working on this for a while. We've actually started the search for a building back in February of 2023. As some of you guys know, we started with a different building. We had to pivot for multiple reasons. We're thankful for where we've landed actually, because this allows a mom with a stroller or someone who's older to actually just stay and have the whole experience on one story, and before that wasn't an option. But one of the reasons we're coming and we're asking is because this building has the opportunity for us to do a really awesome rooftop garden. And it is expensive because we have to add steel and structure to the building to be able to expand its footprint up there and give ourselves and give the community the opportunity to do that. We have been very intentional, and so has our architect, in how we do that. So some of the things that, if you get into the nitty-gritty of the details, even the floor selection for that rooftop garden is hurricane friendly. It's a little bit more expensive an investment on our part, but it allows us to be able to address needs of the roof or the floor quickly in the event of a storm, which allows us to reopen faster and faster should there be one, and not interrupt what should be about 40 to 50 staff or employees who work here as well as make a living there. So that's one of the cool things you'll see outside. We have lots of pictures of the outside. We won't have a view, so we'll do a lot of plants. So did Mr. Mora leave? Because we can talk about plants. Because I got excited when I saw his plants. I was like, you can come take my sidewalk. So this is the back of the building. Again, something that's important to us, and we're really intentional with our architecture team. They work a lot in downtown cities in Florida that's a lot like us, like Lakeland, and they were really helpful in helping us create an exterior to this building that currently houses some folks that maybe we want to not incentivize to be back there. They really did a great job adding lighting, making it accessible from a safety perspective and a convenience for the deliveries, et cetera, but also supporting what we want, which is really healthy community activity, a walkability that people feel safe in. So that's Gather 242. Yes, ma'am.
Where in the, and I know this is all just conceptual, but where are you thinking about having the live music or some version of entertainment? Anywhere thrown in? I mean, like, do you have a designated spot?
Yes.
Oh.
We believe that it'll be upstairs,
Okay.
Inside, where if you're walking up the stairs, the bar's kind of to the right. Right across from it, we intentionally placed kind of two big areas where we can set up a stage and then take it back down.
Okay.
Any other questions, comments?
No.
I think that,
Can't wait.
Me too.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for
You're welcome.
coming and presenting and all of the hard work you all have done to move this project forward. Yeah, I think we're all excited.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
even though this is outside of the policy that we currently have for grants, the board has done this once before with the professional building. Same historic, in fact, the city council this morning deemed it historically significant in its meeting. So you're lining up with an existing line of thought that you've had before. It would, you know, we like to keep things in line and not get too far out of the box, but you've done this before where you have approved grants over a period of time. And like all of them, they still have to get the property appraiser and get that appraisal done, which they'd have to do anyway. But that's what covers us with the amount of investment we make, is the fact that we can validate the investment they make.
Mr. Chairman,
Ms. Barnaby.
I'm going to ask you to do something.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to ask you to pass the gavel to your vice chair, who I believe is Ms. Coachman.
Is it Coachman?
No, is it Lisa?
No,
Okay, sorry.
you know what? It is Ms. Gonzalez.
Okay, I'm sorry, because I was going, but, like,
Yep.
who's the vice chair, who's the vice mayor, who's
That's
the
okay.
second
I
vice mayor?
Oh,
So,
at least even.
anyway, I would like you to call for a motion, and I'd like to ask the councilman from that ward to make that motion.
Oh,
That's a
hey.
lovely idea.
well,
I know how
Yeah,
hard
like-
you've worked.
Well, as the vice chair, I would love to call for a motion, sir.
I motion, now you put me on the spot.
It's long, I got mine open if you.
Oh, that's right. I'm out of order.
Yes, oh, hey,
Oh.
who do we, please come forth.
The vice chair says we must have public
Don't we
comment
need a
first.
motion before we let discussion?
But public comment?
Public comment?
She who holds the gavel makes the
Yes,
decision.
Yeah.
I would love to have public comment.
Gene Brown, Downtown Citizen. Just a quick comment, and I know it's probably going to go well anyway, but in a lot of the things we're doing in downtown now with Point Park and some of the other things that we're going through, and obviously that's still motions, things to go on, but Point Park College loved this because it gives an opportunity if at some point in the next 3 to 4 years we have 2,000 occupants downtown, which would be the growing. And I know, Mrs. Moore, this for you say, what's this going to help Old Manatee? Well, it's going to grow Old Manatee, and it's going to show Old Manatee that maybe a building can be remodeled into something. And that's an opportunity. So I just think that, it's a great opportunity not to start just for this, but it's also going to show that how we're moving off of Main Street and doing others, which will grow other ways. So thank you.
Yeah, yes,
Time never started. so.
yes. Oh.
I think a lot about placemaking, and I feel like that, the mayor's comments line right up with that. This is the beginning of us making a place for all ages, which I love that focus. So, if we're ready, are we ready? Okay.
I move to approve the request by Gem Collective 530 LLC for historic redevelopment grant pre-approval for the property located at 530 13th Street West in a cumulative amount not to exceed $600,000, subject to standard annual funding cycles and compliance with all CRA program requirements and reimbursement obligations.
Second.
Yay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes unanimously.
Nice.
And I will hand the gavel back
Mr.
to my esteemed colleague.
Mr. Signor, did I say your last name correct? Signor. Thank you for clarifying, because now I know what Jeff, Elizabeth, and Melissa?
Mimi.
Oh, got it now, out of order, but I now know what Gem Collective stands for, so thank you very much. Thank you.
Chair Schuessler, I would like to take credit for that motion that was written. With the help of legal, we crafted that one for you.
It was nice.
Excellent.
A little wordy, but
It had a legal connotation, kind of a feel to it.
yeah, we
Like a
wanted to
mark.
make sure we covered our bases. Anyway, moving on. So this is an amended redevelopment grant for AJA Business Holdings LLC. They have recently purchased a property at 2514 9th Street West. On May 27th, they received a redevelopment grant for the replacement of their roof, which they've already completed. It's done. At that meeting, Mr. Warnock attended the entire meeting and stayed, and Dr. Burton had mentioned the possibility of increasing our redevelopment grants. After early June, Mr. Warnock reached out to me and wanted to start a conversation about investing additional funds into their property. So Dr. Burton and I had quite a few different conversations, and the end result was we don't want to hinder the private market from investing into their property as quick as possible. So what the end result is Mr. Warnock and his team at AJA Business Holdings reached out and provided quotes for additional investment of up to $285,000. I have a slideshow I'll pull up, and Mr. Warnock is here as well. But the work that they're wanting to do under our current policy, they're maxed out. They would have to wait. They couldn't do anything else and apply for a grant until 12 months after their grant was approved. Our policy is built that way so people don't take advantage of it, but it's also does hinder them from continuing on and investing in their property. So we decided we'd come in front of you and ask for basically a pre-approval of a grant, so that basically that could move forward, understanding that they are pre-approved for an extra $100,000 because our redevelopment grant went up from 50 to 100, so that they now have access to $50,000 from the previous approval since the increase of the grant, plus an additional $100,000 if you so choose to approve a pre-approval of their grant. This will allow them to work with financing, different capital, so they can raise capital and pay for this and have the confidence that it'll be there for them when they're ready to go and when they need it. So I have Mr. Warnock here. I'd like to pull him up. He can briefly run through the presentation.
So my name is Josh Warnock, here representing Platinum Live Productions. We're a live production company, so we do corporate events, music festivals, technology at churches integration, so projectors, video screens for all types of churches. So essentially what this building will start off as is our warehouse. What the additional investment will allow was to create sort of like a demo environment. So if I go to the next, okay, so this will allow us to, this is the before, so this is what it is right now. So essentially what it'll allow us to do is paint the outside right away. The gutters roof is already done with the initial $50,000. So this is the side exterior. We also got a new fence. It's not installed yet, so waiting on permitting. It's actually on site, so we're just waiting on that. Another picture of the rear exterior shows the fence. We need to add garage doors because the existing garage door, as you can see, is, I believe it's 7 by 12, which we can't fit any equipment through that. The new ones will be 12 by 12, allow us to actually get through things through there. This is the inside. So before this, so to give you a little backstory, the building was an old furniture rental house. So we actually did a lot of the demo to get it ready to move in by August 1st to get out of our current space. So this is concrete now. It used to be old rug with watermarks and stains from the old roof, which was original from 1964. So what we want to do is do a polyaspartic finish on the floor, as well as paint the interior. And what this will be is along this wall here, what we'll do is we'll bring in churches, their volunteers, set up equipment which allows them to train them, bring in corporate event, potential clients, current clients, set up stage designs for them so they can see what they want, learn how to use it, and things of that nature so they can see it before they buy it. The restrooms are in rough shape. I don't know if anything's been done other than the original when it was first built. So basically what we want to just do is redo the floor, paint, redo the appliances, things of that nature. It definitely needs a lot of work. This is the back warehouse area, concrete finish, no paint on the insulation, polyaspartic finish here on the floor, garage door. Landscaping needs to be taken care of because it's higher than the foundation. So we have to take care of that because the water is starting to seep under the slab. So what we want to do is get rid of all that dirt, have somebody come in, and essentially just do pavers or something or even river rock, something better than just dirt that's just there causing problems. Do a little landscaping up front, as well as repave the parking lot. And a lot of these openings used to be just open, and they were finished with wooden stucco, which is starting to crack, the wood's starting to rot. So what we'd like to do is actually block them in and do it the right way. So yeah. You guys got any questions?
So,
Bless your heart.
so not only are they,
That's my comment.
Yeah, it does.
Ditto.
Yeah, great building.
not only are they investing in the building itself, which is, you know, a core component of the CRA, right? Removing slum and blight, increasing the tax base. They're also bringing their business up from the neighbors to the south and bringing 8 jobs with it to Sarasota, which the synergy between, to Bradenton. The synergy between what they do and the Point Park, I believe. Park Point. Point Park. Also hand in hand as well. They're a live production performance company. So that's another asset for them and the college themselves. So our ask is that you move to approve the request for a phased redevelopment grant, pre-approval for the property located at 2514 9th Street West in a cumulative amount not to exceed $195,000, subject to standard annual funding cycles and compliance with CRA program requirements and reimbursement obligations.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
so moved.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilwoman
Oh, that's your ward, wasn't it? It was on
Coachman.
your side of the street.
and we have a second
Neighbors.
by Vice Mayor Coker. Let's take a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Passes unanimously.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Moving along, Dr. Burton, any other discussion, new business?
Just three things. One is, we'll be moving forward with the city council in the near future to bring a slum and blight study. We have to put out a letter to all the taxing authorities 15 days prior to a meeting. We need to get on the agenda for city council. This will be a slum and blight study for the creation of a new CRA. We'll make sure we run it through the attorney's office to make sure that he'll either want to do a resolution or an ordinance. He can choose which one he wants. And we'll just, it's textbook. So from that point on, then we begin the process of finalizing the map and the plan, and then finally the trust fund. This is in line with some existing projects that are moving forward. And we want to make sure we keep in lockstep with them so that we can take full advantage of the timing. Also to let you know that, speaking of projects, we have a potential project that has gone through the entire process with the CRA on the old City Hall site. We have heard from the City Council concerns of the traffic and density. We are in the process of talking, and we'll bring something back to this board regarding any ways that we can help adjust the traffic flow in that area so that as that project moves forward, there are ways that we can help make their entry onto the city's thoroughfares easier and less on that curve coming on Manatee Avenue East. That will be probably coming forward in the next couple months. There's just some properties that are there. We'll try and do a partnership with the city since this is transportation and it is new, improved streets that potentially this may tie in with their impact fees for transportation. And then finally, just to let you know that we're working with the city and the county on the GTE building. The county owns it. There is discussion about it being transferred to the city and then to the CRA. It would be partially to remove blight from the area because the building needs a lot of work. It looks a lot like his building, which needs a lot of work. It would be something that we would invest in to bring back. It has a historic tenor to it. And at that point, we would discuss what uses, besides possibly an office for the CRA, what uses would be something we would want for that piece of property, then go out to an RFP. So that is moving forward, and just wanted to keep the board informed so that you are aware of that. That is something that the CRA can do and falls in line with our plan multiple ways, and could be used to help stir the economy of the downtown. So that's Chris, do you have anything?
No, sir.
Todd?
Go ahead, Mr. Campbell.
Just briefly, we have the BPD substation house that we put out for invitation to put it out for sale, and we received a offer, and the offerer has backed out of their request to purchase that property. I wanted to let you all know, just so you're aware, we're working in a partnership with the Housing Community Development to advertise that house internally for city employees, along with the $50,000 down payment assistance program that the city now offers, or that the Housing Community Development now offers qualified individuals. I'm meeting with HR tomorrow, I believe. We're all meeting together to develop a marketing campaign, and nothing, you know, extreme, but to get the message out. I just wanted you all to be aware that that was our intention with that property, to get it off of CRA, the rolls, and back into the private market.
Understood.
Ask a question?
Yes.
Is it on MLS?
No, it is not right now, no. We have to, so the intention, we don't have, I don't have access to MLS. If we don't have any buyers in 30 days, we'll work with the approved real estate company that the city works with to market it traditionally. But we wanted to, it's a brand new home inside out. It's been redone. We wanted to offer to city employees, as, you know, in a you know, conjunction with the $50,000 down payment, it could really be a nice home for somebody.
Did you have another question, Vice Mayor Coker?
Yes, unrelated to that. Now that we're in our budget and we've got so many things going, and back in the day when I was on DDA, we would have like a 10-year timeline that showed a projection of our income and our revenues and our output. I would love, I don't know if anybody can put something like that together, but I would
Yeah, we
just
can-
love to have a
we can
better,
do that.
better handle on where we are.
We will, we can do that with the preface that,
It's estimates, I get it.
well,
and
no,
it's-
not that.
Amendment 3.
Tallahassee,
Ballot
Yeah.
measure,
What?
the ballot measure.
Oh, well, yeah, see, even that.
yeah,
Really.
yeah. We'll be happy to do that.
But I just, you know,
Yeah, that's not a problem.
thank you.
Well, I don't know, just stop me anytime. I think that that's helpful information for us to have, and, you know, feel free to tell us worst-case scenario and best-case scenarios. But I've already expressed this to staff, that I don't want us to slow down. I don't think that we should shy away from procuring contracts and entering into contracts with anyone, and I think that's what brilliant legal minds, not such as myself, are for, if there's a fallout after November. But my thought is, we do not stop what we're doing. Full steam ahead. For what it's worth.
Understood.
Any other?
1 out of 5.
And that is what we're doing.
Yes.
Okay, great.
You haven't noticed.
We can fight about it later.
Prudently, but we are.
Yes.
I like that, yeah, that's it.
Any other comments or discussion? That being said, we are adjourned, 3:38 PM.